everybody, I'm Katallina, and today we're here to talk about episode 2 of The Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant Used to Be Arch Enemies. I have to say, today's episode definitely took me by surprise, because something I did not expect to see in this show was Momori actually being grabbed and fuddled with by some kind of slime monster that I would normally see in somebody's random-ass fanfiction on AO3. That was definitely out there, and I definitely was not expecting that. I'm not somebody who is necessarily mad, but I definitely want to give a quick heads up to people who are considering watching this and who might be uncomfortable with that kind of thing, because those tentacles were grabbing stuff shouldn't be grabbing, and there was shit going down. Now, to be fair and objective, of course, our man Mira did not put up with that for 2 hot seconds. Yes, he saw it on his phone. He may or may not have kept the picture. Who knows? He's a guy. But he did show up and he did deal with it. And I find that very interesting that we see him rescuing her, because he's supposed to be the villain. And in so much as that there was this slime creature and this was happening, there's definitely some sketchy shit going on with this organization that he's part of, but I don't necessarily know whether he is or was responsible for the presence of that thing, and I don't know whether that thing is doing what we saw it doing to Momori, to regular citizens, or whether that was some kind of deliberate attack on a magical girl. Another thing to consider, and that I found very interesting and slightly disturbing, if I'm being fair, is the idea that this show, despite being very cutesy, very soft-palated, and up until this point reasonably wholesome, it seems very aware of the reality of what happens when conflict finds women as opposed to when it finds men. Because instead of fighting a creature and using weapons and powers and attacks and physical violence and combat, what we instead see is sexual exploitation. And it's not the only time that we actually see that referenced within the context of this show. We also see that the cat that Momori has signed up with for this magical girl bullshit and the other things she's going through, not by any choice of her own ideally, but still, he actually wants her to do massages, which, as far as I know in this kind of context, is code for basically being a sex worker. And yikes. I mean, I don't know how old she's supposed to be here. I know that she found and met the cat when she was in middle grade. I'm not sure, given the size difference between her and Mira, exactly what their ages are supposed to be. I'm kind of rolling with it that she's old enough to be okay with him being interested in her, and that she's just a smaller character. I'm giving them the benefit of a doubt, but either way, this whole thing with this cat is absolutely nasty, and if there's anything I could see Mira set on fire and just absolutely deal with, it is not Momori, obviously. It's this damn cat. This cat is an absolute piece of shit, and yo, somebody take this thing to like a bad animal shelter and just deal with it, because it's gross. I mean, I realize this is obviously not an actual animal, so I don't need to worry too much about saying stuff like that. It's obviously some kind of alien life form. It's so weird for me though, because I don't really have a background in this form of magical girls. I'm more used to the traditional Sailor Moon type, where yes, you could hypothetically argue that Luna and Artemis are questionable and sketchy in getting middle school girls to do the stuff that they are doing, but I mean, they generally have their interests in mind, and they do get concerned when they're hurt or stuff like that, whereas this thing is just sick, and I really do hope that somewhere along the way as we go, that this little pukey cat is going to get dealt with, because I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and I want it gone. Now, I realize that's not going to happen anytime soon. It's needed for plot, and it's definitely going to add another interesting layer, because as cute as the interactions between Mira and Momori are in this episode and in the first episode, we definitely need to continue to see situations happen that are going to invite certain plot foibles and conflicts and issues, because otherwise we're not really going to have a story. And it seems like we are making some progress. I don't actually know whether or not he's going to send that information that he was typing up. The fact that we didn't necessarily see him hit send, please correct me if my vision's wrong there, definitely leaves it up in the air, which is an old school tactic of storytelling, especially for TV. So I don't know whether that actually happened. I do think it's totally cute that he actually put his jacket on her and that she's wearing his jacket though. Although the cat going, "nice jacket," at the end of the episode gave me fucking chills. Not only do I think the cat is hypothetically going to take the jacket, because the cat seems to take everything from Momori, probably including her organs eventually if she keeps going down this road, but also because the cat is probably not stupid. Evil and stupid are not the same thing, my friends. And the cat can probably two and two together who the jacket belongs to given time. And the cat will probably recognize the thing that was put on the jacket to fix the nick in it, and he can probably trace that back to Momori. I wonder just where this story is actually going to go. With it being shorter episodes, it's going to be a lot more complicated for them to tell a more complex plot. But at the same time, it does seem like we are going to be getting more than simply food dates. I think we'll be getting more of those just because the interactions between the two are cute and they're a great way to lend for conversation and discussion. But it seems like there's going to be more to this than that, which is good because I was slightly concerned about that when I watched the first episode. All things considered, I am enjoying the interactions between these two. I do find them interesting. I don't know whether they're my favorite example of this kind of setup, but I am having a good time, and I'm definitely looking forward to episode 3. So, what did you guys think of the second episode? I'd love to know, so drop a comment below, and I'll talk to you in the next video. See you later. Bye!